Nathan, another win on the road. What did you make of today's game?
I'm delighted, really, because it's a real tough place to come, because games are never pretty. They're never footballing games here. They're never really tactical. What they are is do the basics really well, head the ball, turn it, win your second balls, all the ugly stuff that you have to do in League One, you have to do really well here, and we did that today.
After being fairly comfortable throughout the game, how did you find what felt like quite a nervy last few minutes?
Well, it's always nervy because they'll throw bodies, they're going for it, they put the ball in your box, it can land anywhere, the wind is swirling, pitch is bobbly. You know, it's the toughest place. That's why, realistically, this is British League, lower league football, well, not lower league, but, in the pyramid football. And that's why, you have to make sure that you do your job well, because it can land at any point. I mean, we had all the best chances in the game. The shots, TC's made a great save from TC, got us at the post. And to be fair, we were the better side for long periods. It's always risky. This time last year we did exactly the same, took the lead, just couldn't hold out, couldn't see it out. But I thought today we defended magnificently. Sides that not many people come and win here, because it's a real difficult place to do that, and especially with the conditions, because it was very difficult.
Tyrese Campbell was the difference maker, scoring his fourth goal in his last 3 games. How important was it striking early?
Well, it's always important to strike. It's important to get the lead, because we very rarely turn leads over and very rarely lose from winning position. That's a good thing. So when we got the first goal, then we've always got something to go after. But we've had some chances we've tried to, but the wind was swirling, and it's a real difficult place. I said to him, if you don't do the basics well today, we won't win the game. And it is an ugly game because, as I said, conditions, the pitch, it's bobbly, it's dry, it's wind is swirling, and they're fighting for their lives, and they're a Neil Harris team, so we knew it was going to be difficult.
Tyrese had some physical treatment and seemed to be limping during the game at times. So how is he doing?
Well, he's going to get that. I've told him, you got to get used to that. When you're that electric and that much of a threat, you're going to get treatment. I was a fullback. If I'd come up against Tyrese Campbell, the last thing I want to do is give him an easy ride and let him turn and play. But he's proved the difference. He was electric for things, but then just had a dead leg and was limping, so it wasn't really effective. But that's why we changed him.
It was a game of few chances. We kept our 19th clean sheet now of the season. How pleased were you with that defensive showing?
You got to. I mean, to be fair, to do anything at this league, you've got to do so many things well. The ugly stuff you have to do really well. The defensive side, and then you've got to make sure that you take one of your chances. We could have had more quality. At times we give the ball away too easy, but it's easy to be critical. But look, it was so important today to get the 3 points, to keep pressure on those above us, and we did that.
Again, the game changes made a difference. How pleased were you with what they did?
Oh, absolutely delighted. The 4 of them that came on were magnificent, and I thought we got them right. Sometimes I'm very critical of myself in terms of I got things wrong or I do things, but today we were bold, putting Young and Bick on the bench, but we've seen something this week in training that's quite frightening, and when he came on, he was magnificent. Chuck's played his part, got us up the pitch. I thought Karoy Anderson was outstanding in driving us forward, and then Tenai, who replaced probably an out of sorts Thierry Small today. So we said it's a squad game. It's going to take the squad constantly to keep getting results, and they were magnificent today.
Results elsewhere. I mean, we're 6 points off the top 2. Is that still something in our sights?
Look, we've just got to keep doing our job. But the thing is, we're 10 points clear in terms of promotion, in terms of playoff. With 4 games to go, it puts us in a wonderful position to achieve our first goal, and then we've got to see where we are. We know there's a lot of football to be played. We're still 6 points adrift of the automatic, so that's going to be tough to overhaul. But let's see.
Back to the Valley for the visit to Northampton Town on Good Friday. How important will that game be?
That's got to be a hypothetical question, truly. It's as important a game as Charlton have had in many a year, probably since the final game of COVID when they got relegated to the division. It's probably that important. So, we've put ourselves in a wonderful position. We have to keep hammering home that now, and it's going to be a real tough game. We saw against Lincoln that if we're not at it, if we don't make the right decisions before, during and after games, then we come unstuck. So we've got a week to prepare, but then it's going to be three defining days, season defining days.
And a final word for the supporters who are outstanding again today.
Look, you expect it now again, as I said to you, but they were magnificent, and to get an early goal, give them something to think. And as I said, they've had their money's worth, because I'm sure they've had their money's worth in terms of footballing spectacle, but they've had their money's worth in terms of a Charlton win and going down the M11 if it's reopened. In good spirits, so look, we're delighted for them.
Congratulations, Nathan. Well done.
Thank you very much. Cheers.